What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again, and woo! We won again, people. We're getting closer to the Champions League football. It's getting closer. Reality's kicking in. We're almost there. I've just seen a little stat about it, but I wish I could put it on the screen right now because people are saying we're there. Not there yet. We're almost there. So people get involved with this chat. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe if you know. We are close and close to Champions League football. Before we do that, I've seen loads of people message me about the William Hill situation. Yeah, I'm on William Hill. If you see me, just don't stop with the texters, bro. I know. I'm on there. Yeah, I know. But yeah, let's talk about Forest, man. Let's get the panel in there, and as well, people get involved with the conversation as well. Let's get the man himself, Des. Des Minute at lastminute.com. How you feeling, Des? How are you? Tell everyone what time you got to the ground and why.
The amount of times I told this story today. I got there at 5. I got there at 5 to 3. I think I wasn't expecting to be at the game. I forgave my ticket because I was expecting to be sort of caught up with a procedure I had to have done yesterday for an irregular heartbeat. And thankfully, I got discharged at 12, and I can't drive. I can't use machinery.
Shout out to K. Shout out to K.
Said I can't
Shout out to K. Go on, say it.
I'm getting there.
Hurry up.
If you
wait. Shout out to Dawn as well. The one I got to suffer. Yeah, I threw you in the bus, Des. Shout out to Dawn Warren. Yes, go on.
She enjoyed it on Match of the Day. So basically, Kay put a foot down because I can't drive, I can't use machinery, I can't use the kettle, even the specialist said. So she got me there at 5 to 3. I got into the game, and of course we enjoyed what happened after that.
Yeah, shout out to Kay for sending him all the way there. But shout out to Dawn. I felt sorry for Dawn, man. I wanted Dawn to come in the ground as well. So Des, Dawn, if you're watching, Des owes you the biggest present ever. I know she's a lovely woman, Dawn. She threw me the bus. She did throw me on the bus last week. I had to tell her off before the game. But Dawn and Kay, well done for sending this clan to the game. Next door, I saw these beautiful people before the game. The legend himself and the legend, Kev and Chelsea. Beautiful people. Good to see you yesterday about Chelsea and Kev.
Brilliant,
innit?
Good to meet up with you. Yeah.
You know what? The people in the chat. You know when you see people on the street and thinking, yeah, I thought Chelsea might punch me and all that nonsense. But when you see her, even the mum was beautiful. I've got to say that she's a fantastic woman. Sorry, but I had to say it.
You can. Somebody has to.
Yeah, she really liked me. I got a beautiful hug. You know what? I don't like hugs, but she gave me the best hugs ever. So people, if you see Kevin's wife, take advantage. Get a hug off her. And
Ben, she's not that sort of woman. Like, I mean, I know times are hard, but
I'm just trying to give her a compliment. And give her a compliment. That's what I'm trying to give her a compliment. But
it's cracking.
But yeah, fantastic people as well. People in the chat, please show some love to Des, Kevin, Chelsea. We're talking about yesterday's game as well, people. But Forest, well, I've not even said the score, have I? Ipswich 2, Forest 4. Another fantastic result. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying we're step closer to Champions League football. There's lots to talk about, people. Like I said, people get involved as well. Let me go through the chat, man, because there's quite a lot of comments I've got to go through, man. As well with David. Only turn to see a new face of William Hill betting. All right, Davey. Okay, I got the point. It was me and Dave Asprey on this. So shout out to Dave Asprey, man. Shout out to William Hill. If you're watching this, William Hill, give me some more money. I'm going to Champions League. Give me some more money. Shout out to William Hill. As well, Chris, all the way from America. Evening pod, Master Dore. Do you agree we'll go full strength squad in the cup, and 3 days later against Manchester United in the league? I want to win the FA Cup. Shout out to Newcastle for winning against that team. Shout out to Adam Pearson. I've seen his vlog, and his amazing vlog. It's emotional as well. We've all been there. Remember Des after the playoff final? It was tears, just like me. Des, why? I'm giving you a compliment, Des. Stop giving me the eyeballs. I'm giving Des a compliment. We're always there. And yeah, shout out to Newcastle and Adam Pearson as well. Colin, people, if you want to be a member to the channel, please do. Justin as well. How you doing, Justin? I hope you're all my friend. Jem, Marlo, can you sit down, please? You was annoying yesterday, but yeah, Kay is a legend. You know what? This is the problem with Des because he doesn't give confidence to Kay and all the things that he does for him. I know the married know that. People who married, it's fantastic, innit? But I will never do that. But shout out to Kay Oldham and Stanley the dog and all that. Good evening, Mr. Dore, Charles and Kev. Hope you're well. I'm happy Forest won yesterday. Will you be doing any calling shows? I might do a few stuff, Eve. I might do some questionnaires as well. So watch out for that. Chris, I hope Des is okay. Look, he looks okay. He looks fantastic. He looks great, man. Charles met Straw yesterday and met who?
Oh my god, yeah, he was my old form tutor when I was in high school.
Was it?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my days.
Yeah, love that. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Mollo, you're annoying. Why don't you sit down when I tell you to? Walking past the ground, man. It's annoying. Dore, have a word with English Steve. He wanted Liverpool. I don't get me started. I don't care the lost. That's all that matters. Dore, that's all that matters. Paul Wells, make sure you please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, please, as well, and get involved with the chat we're going to talk about as well. Shout out to Katie as well, and Justin and Jackson as well. Shout out. Well, let's talk about today's game, man. Who should we start with? Who are we going to talk about? No, let's start with Kev. Because Kev got in the game, got to the ground. Chelsea's about to throw him under the bus. But Kev, talk to me. Seeing Forest win at Portman Road, man. Talk to me, man.
That was a good game, to be fair. I mean, I've watched a lot of the town chats, vlogs and that, and I mean, I saw it slightly different to them. It was almost, they said that it was an even game for the first half an hour. But I'd probably see Forest play that way, don't they? They just contain, suss out, and then just go for it. I think is that a fair assessment? I think really, to be fair, I mean, there was not being unkind, but it was just they were a different class, Forest, weren't they? Really, and it's not been because we've been there, haven't we? No, first season back up is hard. I didn't really feel in any danger of losing that game. You know, personally, that's why. Obviously, 3 goals, 6 minutes, was it? What, something like that?
Like I said, Kev, I think the first half an hour, as you expected, them to have much the ball, but after that, like I said, it was 3 goals in 6 minutes. What it was? It felt like the Newcastle away when Newcastle scored 3 goals in that in quick time as well, but. It feels great. Like I said,
it's a good passage of play, wasn't it? To be fair, all comfortable.
You are starting to see, I knew that, obviously I know that we're in the position where we are now, but kind of being in that situation of the match that we were in, you can see the different levels now. And obviously from where we were, very similar to where Town were, and you can see how big the gap is now. But we're at the other end.
Love Morgan playing deeper.
Yeah. You know what? That's what I want to talk about as well. That's later on as well. But as well, congratulations to Morgan's wife, because I don't know if everyone heard they were shouting about Tuchel. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but I knew he's going to do it. I knew he was going to come back into England squad because we knew a few players were going to pull out, and Morgan's wife deservedly. A shame with Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. I thought he deserved to be in the team, but. Well done to Morgan's wife for getting called up as well. Charles, do you want to say anything about yesterday? How did you feel about yesterday's game before we get theirs?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, it was the gap that you can see is now just so much bigger. And like I said, being at the other end of it is a nice, comfortable feeling. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit. Even though we did win and we did score the 4 that we did, I was a bit frustrated that we let them have 2 because I don't feel like we needed to have done that, especially with having Murillo and Milenkovic in my FPL team. That didn't do me any favours. But no, I think, we played brilliant. And what I find really strange, we play very similar games of football, but people still don't expect us to do that. They still don't expect it. And we don't change too much this season, but it is still a surprise to teams. So, yeah, but again, we were just brilliant. And that was, without being rude, that was a different level of class.
I was going for the comments. Shout as well, Steve. Cracking performance yesterday, especially first half, and standout players with Marcus White, Anson, and Nico. Top 4 FA Cup on the horizon. It definitely is, well, Steve. Definitely. So shout out to well, Steve.
That's
Oh,
Dean.
do you know him? Is that fella?
That's Dean, yeah.
Oh, shout out to D. You must. I don't want to rub it in, but your team's crap. I'm sorry, but yeah, shout out to D, man. I do want to apologise. Town moved the ball slowly left forward, opened up the part that did. But he looks sad, and he just took that picture. He looks very sad. He looks very sad. It reminds me of Des when Forest lose as well, or when Sengaris pissed him off. Like, sorry,
I love that.
Oh, sorry. No, Dave, Dan, if I was you, just change picture to make you smile a little bit. Smile a little bit. Dan says, Kev, just say it. Ipswich are crap. Yeah, just.
You know, I can't say it.
No,
Can't
you
say it.
can't say that because he was sitting with them yesterday.
Oh, Dale just thrown him under the bus.
No.
Wow. No comment. I'm not involved. Am I involved? Ricky said, we need another good move to polish answer next season. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Bring us a sub. Like I said, we'll talk about throughout the podcast. Let's get the man himself, Des. He's been ready. Des, how you feeling about it, man? Step closer to where we belong, to Champions League. What's your thoughts on the game?
Just pretty much what the guys said, really. You know, I think Ipswich did give it a go in their fashion, you know, in the first 30 minutes. I totally agree with Kevin, the fact that teams think they're giving it a bit more of a go because Forest play in a way that let them have the ball, you know, and it always felt comfortable, even in that period, whilst they had a couple of pop shots. You know, it felt like we was always in control of the game and on top of things. And I think I said it a couple of weeks ago when we played them at the City Ground. I said we looked physically stronger, fitter, faster, you know, more like athletes, you know, just the whole package compared to Ipswich. And we know, again, as the guy said, that it's tough when you're down there. It's tough when you've just come out of the Championship. All this last couple of seasons is doing, really, is highlighting how well Forest did do in that first season to hang in there, you know, and of course the job Cooper did. You know, we've moved on from that. We've moved forward, and Nuno's doing an amazing job in his own right. But it's those levels in the Premier League, isn't it? You know, as soon as we sort of got in a position to create chances and we took them, you know, we were ruthless in what we did. And you know, when you're down there, you've got to be so ruthless. And we found it, like you touched on, Dore, we found it a couple of weeks ago at Newcastle on their pitch, a better team than us in the first half, you know, probably another level up from us in terms of physicality, particularly in the middle of midfield, you know, and they did a bit of a number on us. And that's how the Premier League is, isn't it? I feel a little bit for Ipswich because I kind of like them, and I saw them last season when they beat Wolves. I was down that way, and I got to a game, and it's just so hard for these teams to take that step, especially when you try and play an attractive brand of football, you know, which they did in the Championship, and you can't come up and play that. You know, you've got to adjust to what's in front of you. It's about digging in. You know, you've seen it with Southampton and Burnley last season, where they're trying to play out from the back. It's brave, but it's nonsensical. And Ipswich, I felt again, was a little bit guilty of that, you know, and allowing us to come onto them. Once we took control, you know, once we scored the first goal, it was game over. You know, in reality, I know they had a bit of a flaw at the end, and things kind of dropped for them a little bit, but the game was over by that point. The pace had gone out of it. Forest had took the foot off the gas, even though they'd put 5 on to try and shore things up and stay at 3-0.
Yeah.
Just glad they didn't score earlier in the second half. And that was important, really. As important as the 3 goals in the first half, it was the keeping them at bay for the first, 35 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
You know, because then there was never going to be any other result. And I just think, in the main, Forest were thoroughly professional. You know, Elanga's on fire at the moment. He's taking his chances, and you know the way he scored that second goal. And it wasn't the best goal in the world, but the way he nodded it down for himself and ran onto it. I said in my little summary that a bit like Collymore back in the day, just the confidence just to knock it on for himself and then just slide it past the keeper with no concerns. It just shows that a squad of players on top of the game, that they know what they're being asked to do. We know what our system is. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what the pundits say or however much we get written off. That they're on top of the game and they're confident that if they do what they're supposed to do and what Nuno wants them to do, that they're going to beat teams like Ipswich, especially. The record in the Premier League this season against bottom halves is the best, and again that just says we've come a long way. We know we've still got a bit of work to do against the top teams, and when we have these little runs, it looks like we're going to slip out. But I think there's enough about us now to really push on and really believe, because we are, and this is why I've been really confident in the last couple of weeks, because we are a step ahead of teams like Ipswich. When you look at the physicality, and it's massive. Football in this day and age is about athletes, runners, athletes. A bit more technical probably 20 years ago. And now you're seeing that the Forest athletes really come to the fore. Where we do lack a little bit is in the depth, and the players coming off the bench. And you saw yesterday that just come back to bite us. But should we go injury free for the rest of the season, and we'll come on to these things, I can see is only surprising one or two more with maybe a cup further in the cup and really clinging on to that third place.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Des. I mean, it's the same with Town. Obviously, they went up an extra level, three on the trot. And people say you're never ready. You're never ready for the Premiership, are you? But I think even from the very first game against Liverpool, and they sort of competed for a period of time, but you could tell that they were. You try and train your players up to such a level that they go pop. We had that. You take Woney, for instance. We didn't have a lot. He got injured because he was obviously playing a better standard of football, trained harder. We rushed him back because we didn't have anyone else. He went pop again. And you get in that cycle of, and I think they're not a bad side. They do compete, although watching them the last few games, they seem to have lost a bit of confidence, I think, more than anything. And I think that was probably, you could see that on Saturday, their heads went down quite a lot. I think they used to rely a lot on Dilap.
Yeah.
But I
do feel like he's kind of gone all for himself.
It's a lot to hang on a youngster, isn't it? Really, it's. But they make the best of what they got. What can you do? Premier League don't make it. They don't welcome. Well, they love welcoming you back. 20 odd years you haven't been in. Come on, with welcome arms. And then they just don't want you out. They want you out. Get somebody else in again. You see,
exactly.
So,
So. I want to touch on that.
I think Forest might actually become somewhat of a blueprint for these teams to try and emulate. In the sense that start getting solid. Forget about trying to match Manchester City and all these teams. I think in the next season or two, you might see teams sort of adapt to the way Forest have eradicated the mistakes. Rather than pass it along the back and a stray pass go to a striker, they kick it long. And really solidify what you do. And that's what we do. And we knew as soon as that first goal went in, there was only one winner. And again, that's not going to happen for every team every season. But I think they might look at us and go, that's the way you get up the league. We didn't expect to be third, and I didn't expect the football would have got us there. But when you're down there, you can't compete in ability. You can compete in competitiveness, and you can compete by not making silly mistakes. And that's where Forest have just become. I've bemoaned it for a couple of years. We was really not very savvy with the Premier League. We weren't taking the dives and the fouls and those kind of things. I'm not saying you should dive, but you know what I mean. When play bit gamesmanship. Yeah. And that's where now I think we've gone to that level, and teams like Ipswich, that they're honest, they're brave and honest, and sometimes you're too brave and honest because you're not used to what's in front of you.
No, absolutely.
I was going to go through the comments. I've seen Ipswich fan Mike D. As a Town fan, all the best in reaching the Champions League. Our fate is sealed we were almost promoted too soon. We have to spend money, but the gap is too vast. We'll be back. Actually, I was speaking to what's his name? It was fun again. Who was it? Joel, who did we see before the game?
Oh,
Alex Griffin.
That's it, Alex Griffin. Shout out to Alex Griffin. When they should spend 150 million start season, I thought, you know what, they had to do it because it's a Premier League, and like Mike just said, I think it's just too soon because when you get from League One and straight to the Premier League, it is a massive. It's like as Forest fans, when the first season we got in, we had to spend money, and it was tough. It was really tough. But now, from then to now, we had a bunch of bruises, we had a points deduction, and now look at us. We're talking about Champions League football, and it's crazy. But like I said, far from Ipswich. There's still time, but I know it's going to be really, really hard. 3 wins this season, difficult. It's really difficult. But listen, Mike, I really want Ipswich to stay up, but it's going to be tough, really tough. Chris, only a full bet against us at this point. 4 more wins should be enough. I really hope as well. Jem says they should have brought a decent centre half, exactly, and that's what I thought with. I'm going to talk about Milenkovic to Kev because I thought, what a player! I can't stop singing about this guy. I thought we always praise Murillo, and Murillo deserves it. But Kev, let's talk about Milenkovic. Like I said, he's just a great friend. People in the chat, what do you think about Milenkovic, man? He took his goal. He made assist as well. What a player! What a player!
Well, you know, and I was sitting with the Ipswich fan, right, and it was a real good view. Yeah, I was in the Ipswich fans. Bless him. Which I really appreciate. But the guy who sort of got me to ticket, he said, and we thought Delap was big, and honestly, when they're side by side, he dwarfs him. Honestly, and having someone as imposing as that at the back, oh wow. It was just something. And then there was the other bit where, I don't know whether you saw it down your side, Ben, I think first half, my second half, when Murillo was doing step overs on the ball, and he turned around and said to me, our centre-halves don't do that. He cannot be a centre-half. It's like, and go back to the cost of those two, you know.
How much did it cost? 25 million? 25 million?
I mean, but you look at they bought Greaves for 20 because obviously they've come up too soon. They haven't got the scouts where they, you know, in the other countries like we have. So that's what they pay for. So, you know, but Milenkovic, he's just such an imposing figure, isn't he? I mean, and I was a bit concerned when he went down, to be honest, because he don't go down. Me too.
I'm like, please don't.
Yeah, that was a bit of a
He's a monster. Listen, I'm not going to repeat the Milenkovic chancellor because there's kids on here, but bloody hell, he's a monster. Like every time, and I think it was Kieran mentioned the lap. Every time the ball went long ball, I was like he's not getting past Milenkovic. Like I think Delap's he's a good player, Delap, but Milenkovic had him in his back pocket.
The funny thing as well, Ben, we was talking about, you know, when you had Adams and Keown, they worked together. They played together. I don't see Milenkovic and Murillo. They almost go about their job individually, but it works. It just sort of works, you know. I'm going to go for this chat from Milenkovic's silence season. He's making Murillo a better player. He reads it so well, calm and collective. I still think the police will come arrest the Forest boy for stealing him. Listen, when we linked with him, I said to everyone, we're not signing this guy. We're not signing him at all because I knew him at Fiorentina and he was fantastic. He was there for like 7 seasons, I think it was. But coming to Forest, I thought, why did I not say at the start of the season we'll finish top 5? I think I did. Someone can find the video as well. But yeah, he's a tank. But Des, you got anything to say about Milenkovic before we to the next subject?
I think he's awesome. I think he's absolutely brilliant. But I don't get this like comparison with Murillo and
different. They're both different.
We've got them both. Who cares who's better? You know,
no.
We've got them both, and I've said a lot of the time, Murillo, I believe, has gone to another level.
Ben Dore.
But I do put a lot of the praise onto what Milenkovic gives him, you know, in terms of he's going to go and do all the aerial work. He's going to take the big man, you know. It allows Murillo to be a front foot defender. Do you know when he was playing with the likes of Worrell and McKenna and whoever, do you know, no disrespect to those guys, he was much more of a back foot player who was expected to almost not sweep up, but almost sweep up in the air. He was expected to win a lot more headers, and we felt he was getting sort of out muscled. Now you've got Milenkovic doing all that. You've got Murillo playing on the front foot. You see when he gets on the ball, he's a class act. Do you know, he's the type of defender that the world loves these days. Do you know, and he's going to go all the way to the top. So, yeah, absolutely amazing what Milenkovic has done. Incredible, do you know, but both of them together, what a partnership.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree with what Kev says there. They are individuals, but what a partnership they formed. And
Works so well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
just naturally, in the fact that, like I say, it just proves to me that Murillo is a front foot defender, not a back foot defender.
Mm.
And if you understand kind of what that is, you just have to look. If you don't understand, you just have to look at last season when he was almost like the last man, trying to win headers, focusing on positioning, focusing on where the last man was. And now he doesn't have to do that because he's got the big Serb behind him or next to him, sort of marshalling and telling him and being in the right place. And all he has to do, how many times do you see him step forward to get in and win a tackle? You know,
Yeah.
Milenkovic is a sort of player whose last man takes the man out to some degree, you know, everything, the ball, the man, everything. Now you see Murillo step forward. It's almost the start of our attack. You know, every time Murillo's got the ball, he's looking to play it out to the left back or left wing or up towards Nadoy. And I think the two of them together, I don't really see much better, you know, in terms of the out and out defending of Milenkovic and the just sheer brilliance of Murillo, because even Arsenal, you know, they've got two class acts at the back, but I'm not sure I'd swap any, you know, at the moment. The only thing I'd take from Arsenal is the way they score from corners.
Yes.
But that's not their job first and foremost. So yeah, I just think the two of them together are absolutely incredible. And obviously this season is built on them. And yesterday, to some degree, just shows you how important they are, because once we made those changes, and yes, there's other sort of caveats to that in the sense that the game was dead almost and the pace had gone and one or two other players went off, but it just shows how solid they worked together as a four. And then when there was when it was changed, when it became a five, there was a bit of confusion then and a bit of misunderstanding, and it just, again, they're doing what they need to do, because I'm sure Nuno probably wanted to go with a five. That's why we had Morato, Milenkovic and Murillo, you know. But as it proved over the season, we don't actually need three in most games.
And if you notice with Murillo as well, when he gets the ball at his feet, nobody challenges him.
Yeah.
Because they know he'll just go past them.
Was it the first half? Was it the first half? He went past like two or three players, which was it's just wow.
Yeah.
People, right? If you think we've got the best centre backs in the Premier League, please hit the like button if you can. Because I think, like I said, the two centre backs Arsenal are there, but we have got the best centre back pair. And I personally think, like, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, people, please hit the like button, subscribe if you know, and if you want to get. Where's that thing here? You see, people can see if you see the scan-on code near Des, get him a coffee, please, because he's annoying. So, where is it? Is it here? Can you see it, people? Top corner. Someone scan the code from here. Get the scan
Mm.
code, because there's no wise. Get him a coffee or something. He's annoying. No, you know what? Do me a favor, people. K deserves. K's the one deserves the coffee. Where we gone? There we go. Wait. Where's this? Scan it. If someone can scan this, look, these two gone. Someone scan the top, please, and buy K or Dawn a coffee. They deserve it. Absolutely deserves it, man. Was that all right, Des? I was giving K a look. Yeah. Women's all right.
I'll buy my wife a coffee any day of the week.
Oh, no, it's shocking. People in peace, if you can, scan it. Or what? I take a what? What's what? I don't. Wait, what? If Kay doesn't want a coffee, I'll take it. So people, just scan it. Because Kay deserve after taking Des to the game. We want to talk about Elanga. Kev, because like I said, a lot of people at the start of the season said wanted him to go to Newcastle and scoring. I think it's his first time he scored a brace, hasn't it? People in the chat as well. What do you think about Elanga? Fantastic performance yesterday. How do you feel, Kev, about him, Elanga? 2 goals, 2 good goals.
Yeah, they were as well, weren't they? Did both feet. He has he been? He seems to have changed his role a little bit now. He used to be predominantly right wing or whatever, but he seems to cut in a little bit more now. He almost plays off.
It's like he plays a diamond shape, like like he plays in the middle and comes on the left hand side. And
but he seems to have. I don't know. Nuno seems to be just, even with the Gibbs White dropping deep back, he just seems to be he just fine tuning it a little bit, which lets Elanga express himself a little bit more. To be honest. I mean, with that pace, why wouldn't you just mix it around a little bit, to be fair? I mean, we've played football. Defenders don't like people running at you at the end of the day, do they? And if you're running at them that fast, I mean, hell. I mean, why he doesn't go in the box more and get more penalties, I never know. But he's just, you wouldn't want to. And if he's coming from all over the place, I mean, wow. How do you mark that?
Well, I think as well, the space that Ipswich gave him to be able to do that as well. I mean, the pace on him anyway. That was 2 different levels of pace. No one was stopping Elanga at that point anyway. But yeah, he's goals.
Well, there's one thing to know how somebody plays, and the other thing is to try and stop him.
Yeah.
But
well,
with pace, you can't stop
him.
that.
Yeah.
Can you? He seemed quite happy as well, didn't he? I don't know if he'd had a bit of a coming together with the fans down that side, because he seemed to be quite.
He was winding him up. He kept winding him up.
Wasn't he? Yeah, I think he kept winding him up. Like, communication with them in that corner.
I think he was. I think people, because he kept doing this. Everyone assumed he was doing the badge. No, I think he was pointing to himself, not like the badge.
Yeah. Right.
So yes, because Ipswich fans got a bit salty about it. Oh, why are you pointing to the badge? Wrong one. No, he pointed to himself.
There you go.
Well, that's all it is. It's an Ipswich fans on there. It wasn't. He was winding up. He scored 2 goals past you, so it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to cry. See you later in Championship on all that. But no offense, Ipswich fans. I like it. I want you to stay up. So, Charles, who's your stand-up performance yesterday?
Now, out of Elanga and Milenkovic, I know obviously Elanga scored the 2, but for me, I'd go Milenkovic. I just think his pass to Elanga, so was it his second goal?
Second goal, yeah.
That was absolutely brilliant. And obviously, and obviously Milenkovic's first goal. And the way that Milenkovic can communicate as well. I mean, has he worn the captain armband before?
No, that's what's more baffling, because he got Yates and Gibbs White, but it's never him.
No, but regardless, he's always communicating constantly, all the time, and he'll get it. He must get it soon at some point, because regardless of whether he wears it or not, he's still acting
no, Kel, he's got to beat up Yatesy first, but no, he's not touching Yatesy.
But yeah, I'd go Milenkovic for me.
Des, we talk about Hudson-Odoi, and I thought Hudson-Odoi played really well yesterday as well. What about Hudson-Odoi, Des?
Yeah, for me at the moment, I believe he's far his best player. I really do. You know, and we've got some good ones at the moment. But I think in terms of consistency and being on top of his game, I think he's the one week in, week out who consistently performs to the standard that we probably didn't even expect to get out of him when we got him so cheap and sort of on the downward slide, it seemed, as his career was going. Do you know, now all of a sudden we've got that consistency out of him, and I think you get the same every week. Do you know, he's always got that goal in him. He always comes back onto his right foot, but it's bringing Morgan Gibbs White into the game. It's allowing, when Gibbs White plays deep, for example, it's allowing him to catch up with play. You know, that kind of thing. That it just all works together, and I think he's always going to be a threat, and because he is always that threat, it allows people like Gibbs White himself, obviously, you know, but Elanga to express himself. Just on that point with Elanga and what Kev said again about him playing in a slightly different role, he's almost playing as a as a second striker and a winger at times, because they play, and he can only really do that when Gibbs White plays deep, because then it allows Dominguez to sort of drop in right hand side to help with Ina, and whatever threat the opposition posed down there. We saw it again. I think probably this all comes back to the Bournemouth game where it didn't really work down that side, and Nuno was looking for a bit of an answer because we just got overrun. And I think since then he's found that system and just playing him off the front. I think it's just such a real threat because as the opposition, Elanga, who would mark him? Because he's overlapping Callum Hudson-Odoi 1 minute, he's on the right hand side the next minute, he's through the middle. And you saw yesterday with the goals, like when he was in his natural position, their attacking fullback, he's probably their best player, Davis. He just can't cope with him because his sights are he's a better player going forward, and you've got that pace. I know you asked me about Hudson-Odoi, but imagine having as a defence having Hudson-Odoi on one side and Elanga on the other. And that sheer pace to have to contend with. And like I say, I think without being absolutely spectacular yesterday, Hudson-Odoi is still right on top of his game. His numbers yesterday, it was all about Elanga's numbers and Elanga's goals and his contribution and what Milenkovic did. But it's more than stats to a football match sometimes, and what Hudson-Odoi is doing week in, week out. I think, again, we're probably taking it a little bit for granted. A little bit like I said about Murillo in how good he really is. And I know a lot of Forest fans was upset with the Gibbs White thing in England. Of course we are. We're all like gobsmacked at that squad. It was disgraceful, to be honest. But for me, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, Hudson-Odoi had to be in that team. Thomas Tuchel knows him. He knows what he's capable of, and he's better now than he was then.
Yeah.
And I think how you're looking at someone like that on that left-hand side, and thinking, my thoughts on Eze, for example, Dore. What does he contribute to a Palace team that don't really need him? And then you've got somebody who can score a goal, who can assist, who can run at players, who can put teams on the back foot. You've got real end product there, and this guy, for me, he's become one of Forest's most consistent performers, and it's not what I expected. And again, when you relate to Elanga, I said it when we signed them both a couple of seasons ago. The reason they're at Forest because they was inconsistent. They're obviously top players at top clubs, but they couldn't take that step forward because they weren't consistent. Now, both of them would be worth an absolute fortune in the transfer market. You won't be signing any of them for less than 50, 60 million. But again, that's because they've kept the consistency going, which they probably couldn't keep earlier in their careers. And they're developing and maturing into absolutely fantastic athletes. I mentioned before about football's about athletes these days. No defence in the world is going to deal with pace like that, especially when there's two of them. And then you've got Guile in the middle.
Sorry, Hudson-Odoi 3.5 million, wasn't he?
Yeah, 3 million.
See,
it's amazing. It's just but I said, when we signed him, and I remember seeing him at Holgate away, and I said to him, I was with Dave Asprey, and I thought, I hope you do well, my friend. And he just smiled, and he replied, I hope I do. And look at him, he's been outstanding. And for him to not get called up for England,
But just one other thing on Hudson-Odoi, and again, we know about the camaraderie, we know about how good they are. It's something we see on the videos every week. But the guy's just enjoying his football. He's not Ina and he's not Elanga, he's not that kind of character, but you can still see how much he's enjoying sort of being here. And if he weren't happy, he's the type of player who would probably make it clear he weren't happy.
Yeah.
Because that's what we sort of grew to expect before, but he's loving it. He's absolutely loving where he is. And I think, again, I spoke in recent weeks about Neco Williams and the confidence, and I believe the same about Elanga.
He was the next one.
Taking him a long way.
Yeah, you know what it is. Before I know you spoke about Neco Williams, that's the next one I'll talk about, because on air, Dad, I don't give Neco Williams much props at all, and I think and we should, because when Alex Munoz came to Forest, we thought he's going to be the first left back. He made his debut against Liverpool, and again, he had a solid back pocket. I think it wasn't Man U away or before that game. Since then, and I'm going to ask you, Kevin, people in the chat as well. Neco Williams, for me, we talk about Milenkovic, Murillo, Ben Dore, loads of them. But this guy, he's came out of nowhere, and he's been absolutely fantastic for us. What's your thoughts, Kev, on Neco Williams?
Yeah, because I mean, there was a time when I think we all thought he was probably not up to the job. I don't know whether the team were progressing and he wasn't quite. I don't know what it was, left back, right back, or whatever. But then he got it because Marino was in, wasn't he? And so he was in, and you almost thought he had nowhere to go. He came back in, and he just hasn't given up. I mean, watching him yesterday, he does the simple things well. He backs people up. He finds space, one-touch stuff, little triangles. He hammers back. He was all over the place yesterday. He really was, up and down. And there's another guy with pace. And what do we say? Defenders don't like pace. It was once he went hammering down the line. He actually got, and there was no one in the middle.
Yeah, that's second half. Was that second half, wasn't it? Yeah, second half.
And how rapid was that? I mean, it's 0 to whatever in seconds, and no one was expecting it. But yet again, after that, look, he just charged back. There you go. He's back doing his job again. It looks so comfortable on the ball. Great. I mean, technically brilliant.
The thing, I don't know. I don't think it was. Did you meet Neco Williams' dad at Liverpool away 3 years ago? I spoke to him, and top guy. And when he was at Liverpool, he said this, and this is what he said to me. He can't play in the back four. He can't play in the back four. He prefers to have 3 defenders and a wing back. And now for him to be at Forest, playing left back out of position, but I know he plays left back for Wales and that. But for me, I think he's one of the players has been fantastic, and we don't really talk about him as much as we should do. But people in that chat, I think it's like I said, he's been one of the player of the season for me. And like I said, how many goals he scored? He's one. He scored 1 goal for this season. I think maybe 2. But yeah, any thoughts on Neco Williams?
I spoke a lot about him last week, didn't I, when I was on? I just think he's always got ability. You knew the ability was there, and he's a player who likes to get forward again. But I think the thing again, what's just oozing out of him is confidence. A confident footballer. These guys are all top footballers, and sometimes the differences are very marginal. And right now, because he's probably confident of his place in the team, probably feels he's finally won it over, in terms of the current squad, and he's seen off Marino, so to speak, not that it's really a case of that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's seen him off in terms of winning his place, and there's nothing better as a footballer sometimes. I played a little bit back in the day, when the place is yours.
Des thought it was Stuart Pearce back in the day, weren't you, Des?
I absolutely did. You're right. Thought I was Stuart Pearce yesterday as well, to be honest. There you go. Yeah. So, but there's nothing more than being confident that the position's yours. You get that solid first touch, and I've seen in the last couple of weeks him just go to another level. He's taking players on. He's like Chelsea says, he's making the right decisions on the ball. All those mistakes I was talking about we make when we was a team like Ipswich, fighting for a life. It was sometimes players like Neco, the fullbacks who were making the bad decisions and putting us in trouble. Now never plays a bad pass. I saw him last week taking men on, running through between 2 players and almost bursting into like Hudson-Odoi territory and being the last man and things like that. As Kev said, there was an occasion where that happened this week. So all that's just a measure of how far he's come and how he's just adapted to what's been asked of him. You just made the point there that his dad said he couldn't play in a back 4. Well, he's doing pretty well at it this season, isn't he? And again, that's probably more credit to Nuno in the sense that he's got he's got someone delivering the right message of what he needs to be and how he needs to play. And again, we don't talk about him as much as some of the players, but I think he has got his fair share of credit in recent weeks because it's really coming to the fore. I said last week I thought the Man City game was the best game he played for Forest, and I still believe that, you know. But again, he's backed it up with another really, really solid performance.
People, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you know. Let's go for the way. There's one. Des has been talking about Stuart Pearce's stream yesterday. Yeah. What's that? Des talking about Stuart Pearce to extreme yesterday. Was you Des?
Des taking being Stuart Pearce to extremes yesterday.
No.
Well, actually, Stuart Pearce has been like Des because I had it first.
All right, then, Des. All right, Des. This is another hero. This is no Dawn. I wasn't your friend. I'm your friend, Dawn. Feeling my age, I can remember watching Jeff Hurst's dad, David Hurst, who played for Sheffield Wednesday. Shout out to Dawn, man. I feel sorry for this. She could have gone to the ground, but because this guy, lastminute.com, came to the ground. But yeah, shout out to Dawn, man. She deserves a coffee, man. People in the chat. Wait, 1 minute. Where is that going? I need to just do this. There it is. People, if you can, get Dawn a coffee. She's like, buy me a coffee if you can. Come on, get Dawn a coffee. Just hit the scan code if you can. Get Dawn a coffee. It'll be nice. It'll be nice, people, if you can, man.
You know Dawn's taken, Dore.
I don't. Yeah, no. I'm being a friend. That's what friends do, Des. See what I mean? Friends do for friends things. Don't even start, Des, before you further say that crap. Okay, people hit the like button, subscribe. People, if you can. I don't know if you lot seen it. We always have this discussion yesterday, and Kev, you seen Dominguez yesterday, and I think the Ipswich fans wasn't happy with him.
I've never seen that before.
You not seen him?
He was like Marino after the game, whoa, and they were going, "Hey!" when he got up and he got down again. That was whoa. Yeah, he wasn't pleasing the guys near me, that's for sure.
What, Dominguez?
Yeah, well, because they reckon he's play acting and whatever, were they?
I think he was play acting.
Just a little bit.
I kept shouting, Dominguez, shut the shut up, Dominguez, man. What are you doing? And he kept just moaning, and he would have been booked to it as well, man. Like, what do you think of him, Chelsea and Kev? Because like we always it's a discussion we have it over and over and over again.
Do you know what I mean? We try and pick out player of the match, which is getting increasingly more difficult because I don't see anybody yesterday who had a bad game. To be honest, if I'm truthful, everyone did their job. Yeah, they all did it very well. Ben, could you pick out somebody who really didn't perform yesterday? You could say Chris Wood didn't get a lot of it, but at the end of the day, he didn't get the service, did he?
He had one chance. He had one chance. I felt he should have scored.
He nearly sat on it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was down our end. But I mean, Dominguez, he probably does that, the unsexy thing really well. He makes space for people. He runs. He gets his foot in. He lets others express himself and whatever. Yeah, he's a great player. Yeah. And we'll talk about Yatesy later when he come on because you're bound to, Ben. Yeah.
Dominguez was embarrassing a hole in his socket, upset him. Can't take a boy out of Argentina, but hey, all right, leave Dominguez alone, Molo, man. Leave him alone, man. Does Kevin definitely rev him? It does. It does, man. It does. People, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you know. We'll get everyone's man of the match and player ratings as well. Where else going to talk about? Nuno. Because, like I said, it's amazing, man. I can't believe it. It's like, I can't believe it. Premier League, third place, all the results gone our way. Let me ask you, Chelsea, man, with third place, could you imagine? I'm not going to ask Kev, because I know Kev's seen the Champions League days. If you've seen it, me, Des, and yourself, we've not seen it.
I'm not that old then.
Yeah,
definitely older than Des. Definitely older than Des. How do you feel, Charles? Like people in the chat as well, all the younger fans as well, because we know Kev might be the oldest in the chat. Charles, how are you feeling? But with third place, and are you like, it's still like, oh my God, it's not real. How are you feeling all about this? Like, for me, I'm like, I come out of the ground, I'm like, won again. It's not like it's getting boring, but it's just a weird feeling.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it, Charles?
I just, to me, that's completely surreal. Like, it's not even happening. Like, the start of the season, me and my family, we had, where we think Forest were going to finish. I said a solid 15th.
Where did you think Forest would finish?
15th.
Okay. All right.
And I'd have been totally happy with that. Just to not be in a relegation battle, sitting comfortably in 15th, I would have been totally happy with that. To go into Europe would, again, even more surreal. But like you said, when you go, oh, we won again. Oh, we beat Man City. Oh, we beat Liverpool 1-0. Like, to me, it's not even registering that's happening. But to go to Europe, there's this part of me who I'm 50-50. I'm going to absolutely love it. And the other half of me is absolutely petrified.
But don't know.
Because
you know what? I'm throwing Des under the bus. You know what Des says to me every single time? And Des, it's going to be nice, Des, before you say something. Think I am. He always says, "Live the moment." See that, Des? I'm trying to be nice. We've got to live the moment and enjoy it. See, I've said something nice about Des for a change. And look, see, just live it. And that's what we're going to do, Charles.
I know. And the thing is, I will. I then go to injuries. I then go to, have we got a strong enough, BT or whatever. And I just kind of go, oh. And, to be fair, I would love us. I'd rather us win the FA Cup.
Yeah. I said that as well.
I've never seen Forest win a cup.
Yeah, no, I said exactly the same on my other podcast.
Yeah.
Forest win FA Cup. Yeah, I did say that.
That.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I can't, man. I got to. I don't know. I want FA Cup. Listen to it. FA Cup and finish third.
It's not an either or. It's not an either or.
Yeah.
Take both.
Yeah.
Good problem to have, isn't it?
I know. Look at us.
You just said those words, Dore. You just said those words. Live in the moment. The next one is Brighton away. We win that game. We're one step closer to an FA Cup. Look, every game is the same. Like, no matter how we win it, how we get through it. As long as we win it, and if we win 6-4 or 1-0, it doesn't matter now. Take each game, because I said last week, didn't I, that the thing with the FA Cup, all that's going to do is help our league form. It's not going to hinder it. We're too late in now. We're too late into the season to be chopping and changing and doing this and that. All you want is another W on the board. If you beat Brighton away, that makes you start thinking, we can beat Villa away. We can beat Spurs away. We can do this away. And again, we did it yesterday away against Ipswich. But beating Brighton away is a step up from beating Ipswich away again, isn't it? And we've had a sticky away spell. So again, just take every single thing that comes our way now, because otherwise, we might not have it again. We know how brutal the league can be. We might not have it next season. So it's just a case of let's have it always. Why can't we? City won 4 trophies last year. Why can't we have a Champions League spot and an FA Cup? You never know.
Yeah, and how are we sitting here talking about being in the FA Cup, being third, and Europe as well?
Rather than saying we've got to go to Sheffield United and Burnley and pick up 6 points to try and stay up. Last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Can you remember when being a Forest fan after February was just looking forward to Derby? One game. We were 15th in the Championship, going nowhere, and all we had was Derby to look forward to at the beginning of April. We've come a long way since then.
Sorry, you've seen the screen. I was trying to put the other screen because I saw that. If people want to read it, I've seen right now. So far, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, ourselves, and Man City in the top 4. If Newcastle qualify the Champions League, 5th, blah blah blah, I'll put it in my community tab so people can understand all the logistics on what's happening. Des, have you seen it, Des? Well, I put it in the group chat. On all the logistics on. It's basically this. There's 7 teams, English teams, can be in the Champions League if it all goes.
Come from I saw
Yeah,
that.
because it's a top 5. If Man U or Spurs win the Europa, they go to Champions League. Or if, like, I don't know, Aston Villa or win the FA Cup, win the Champions League, that's the 7th team. So it's still it's still going to be amazing, people. It's just mind-boggling. Right, before you go,
from Forest's point of view, though, Dore, all we can control is the top 4. That's all we like. The set rules are to get in the Champions League, you need to finish in the top 4. So all Forest are concentrate, and again, it's that thing of just keep winning the next game. Do enough. I already think, and I'm not. I'm not the most sort of positive when I'm trying to be realistic. I already think we're going to have to fall off a cliff not to get in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Just watch Man U Leicester. Seriously, 2 bad sides. 2 really, really bad sides. And if we don't, if we win both of those games, we're already like 7-8 points clear of Brighton.
Yeah.
And Brighton have still got Newcastle to play. They've still got Chelsea. I don't know exactly, but they've still got some fixtures to play where it's going to be really hard for them to outwin Forest. If we win 2-3 more, they're going to have to win 5 or 6, and that's near on impossible. That's if we don't win the rest of the games. So it's going to be really hard not to do it. And the only thing we can and this is why I say enjoy the moment. Look, we're all looking at permutations and which way things go. But at the end of the day, we win our next football match. We're in an FA Cup semi-final. We win the one after that at home. We're even more cemented in, because you've seen this week, City have dropped points, Brighton have dropped points, Bournemouth have dropped points. They've done the work for us. We've done our job. We've done what we had to do against Ipswich. Potential banana skin, but then the other teams have done helped us along the way as well, and that's going to keep happening, and it'll work the other way around as well. We'll help teams along the way, but that's why it's just about the next game. And it's boring. Nuno says it, and we're all like, "Oh, we hear this every week," but it is the reality, isn't it?
I think Tom is that measure. Thomas was who remembers Fawaz? Bloody hell! I don't think he's going on people. Fawaz, I bet he's bloody Belen. Sorry,
he should not be named.
Him and what's his name? The other Belen guy. That's what his name now. As well. This one might anyone know if City will get to match point? I wonder if Town can stay up with 17 points. I was hearing from an article in 2 weeks' time. If I'm right. Right. I saw an article. I don't know if it's Des seen. I don't know if anyone in the chat seen it and on social media. I think it was Paul Taylor, and I think Des I'm talking about. There was an article about Brennan Johnson. I'm trying to make it quick. I'm not going to make it a long discussion about it. People in the chat, before we do go, would you take Brennan Johnson back? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because it was a discussion that this is what Paul Taylor said, and he quoted: if Forest did try and get Brennan Johnson would love to come back to Nottingham Forest. This is what Paul Taylor said. So, in the chat, would you say yes or no? I'm going to have my opinion on it. I'll say him in a different video for that. Kevin Charles, yes, would you take Brennan Johnson? Yes or no?
We nearly done that with Froze thing.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Oh God.
Oh God. I actually saw that one today, and I
did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
I saw telling that, me I didn't.
There's a month discussion on social media. Yes or no? Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no.
Yes, but not start.
Yes, because he's homegrown. There we go.
Okay.
They weren't confident answers.
Can you imagine?
Sorry.
Can you imagine Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, and Johnson what pace we have.
I know. Okay. Des?
Yeah, I'd take him. And that's not to take him for him to walk in the first team, because the situation's changed since where he was. You've got to think of what type of player Forest are in the market for. They're in the market for a fast, wide, talented players who've got a bit of end product. And whatever people say about Johnson, scored goals for us to help.
He's touched goals for Spurs.
And he scored goals for Spurs. That was my next point when he's been in the team. So yes, he's got certain types of players around him to help him at Spurs. But Forest, when you start looking, look at the moment, Anthony Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi are two of the best wingers in the league.
100%.
Look, I've said for a long time, we've got to be signing better if we're going to go out and spend
100%.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
But can we, in every position, can we sign better than what we've already got?
I think we can.
If they're the ones performing. It's like the centre-backs, isn't it? If you went into that market, are you really going to sign better than the two we've got? So all I'm saying, he's kind of a medium right now. I'm not saying he's right in the middle, but you look at the bench, it's Jota and it's Sosa, and they've been great at times in doing a job, but they don't get you on the edge of your seat. They don't inject something like what we need. Like when Elanga's got to come off, the pace of the game goes out. When Hudson-Odoi comes off, the pace of the game drops. Someone like Johnson to come off the bench, to start one or two games. You look now what they're doing with Elanga and moving him about. He might add more natural width on the right. And so, yeah, obviously at the right price, the right sort of terms and conditions for the club. Probably not spending the money we sold him for, that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely take him because he's a quality player, and we're good. The team is built on that kind of player who can take the ball from one end of the pitch to the other very quickly. 100%. And you just got to look. You got to look back as well. The way he linked up with Gibbs White, you've got a partnership there already. It was our only partnership for a period of time, wasn't it? Now we've got players all over the pitch who are going to bring even more out of Brennan, because Brennan felt he was unfairly treated because he was always the focal point.
Yeah.
He was the one who had to get the goals. He was the one who had to do this.
100%.
But now
he kept us up there. He kept us up, and that's why.
Yeah. But now there's so many more who do that job, isn't there? He played through the middle. He's not a striker, but he played through the middle and he did a job. Now you've got Chris Wood. Now you've got Hudson-Odoi on the other side. It was like for 2-3 years, everything went through that kid, and he developed into a talent where Spurs come and paid 50 million for him.
I think a lot about coming into Forest now is do you fit into it?
Yeah.
What it is, you got to be the right sort of player. And I don't mean technically or whatever, because it's quite clearly that whatever we do now, we can coach that into players. It's do you fit into the whole regime, the player style, their moods, their attitudes, and all of that as well. You want the right people in, don't you? And I think being a Homer, he, one of our own and all of that, I think he probably would fit, wouldn't he? Because we're getting some good stuff out of some not going back to the Cloughie days, which were potentially seen as cast-offs, weren't they? And we're making these players in good play because they're buzzing now, aren't they? You can see it. It ripples through.
That's a good point, Kev, because why would Nuno not get more than perhaps what Cooper even got out of this guy? Because what we're doing with the wingers at the moment, some raw talents. We mentioned that a lot with the two guys in situ. We're getting real ability out of them. If he come back to us, would we get an even better player than what we had before?
Absolutely. There's something about you just watch them. There's something about the team at the moment, or the group of players. Let's put it that way.
I was going to a few comments before we get people as well. If you can, before I get the panel's man of the match, who's your man of the match as well? So if you can. There's 32 people in, and then please do hit the like button as well. Who was your man of the match yesterday as well, and your player rating? Like I said, it's been a good topic to talk about Jono. Me personally, I'll bring him back. like he's top scorer with Tottenham, if you know or know. With Madison, I think it is with 14 goals. So why not? Squad player for me. Because he, like I said, I think he'll suit Nuno's system. This one is I've got to end this one. This is from Mark. I'm looking forward to seeing the haters react to Mark for Yates. He's playing Champions League next season, God willing. You know what, Mark? 100% right. I cannot wait to see him at the Bernabeu in. It was who can I say the best player in the centre midfielder? Back pocket Ryan Yates. Some people
Bellingham.
Bellingham. Some people like I'm not going to throw people. I'm not going to throw people on the bus. You know who they are. Always it's hard to say the name. Ryan Yates has been fantastic. He made the fourth goal. Morgan's right. Morgan's right, but Ryan Yates is the one that made the fourth goal. But no one talks about it because he comes on and he's done his job. So shout out to you.
Ben, that's what I was saying yesterday. He came on yesterday and I saw a different Ryan Yates. He dropped his shoulder. He sent someone.
Did you see it?
Honestly, he did.
You know what?
He did.
Kev, give us 10 minutes. You talk about Yates because
honestly,
everyone says to me, "Oh, I'm a Ryan Yates lover." Guess what? He played fantastic yesterday. So up yours, whoever.
It wasn't that kicking Ryan Yates, was it? It was honestly Wow, talk about looking comfortable. He did. He dropped his shoulder. He sent someone the other way, and he hadn't seen that for a while. Honestly,
but Kev, we're not allowed to talk about it because he's not a Premier League player.
Okay,
that's what it is.
You know what that is, Kev? Do you know what that is? Confidence.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because
I saw that. I thought I've never seen Ryan Yates do that in my life.
Yeah. Who's this new guy who's come on? It's like,
that's the thing. Like I said, everyone, I know. When Ryan plays good and Ryan plays his bad, people have an opinion about him, and he's the first person to get a scapegoat on him. But yesterday, when I seen him go past two players, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? He's not meant to be doing that. You give it to Mark Gibbs White or Anderson. Not get back where you belong, Yatesy. Belong, man. We should be doing that kind of stuff because all the people that dislike him will never praise him about it. But that's why we're here. We have opinions about him. Right, people, get your man of the match in as well. Mark Gibbs White, man of the match, a solid 7.5. Dawn says Mark Gibbs White, 7.5. Anyone else? Who's your man of the match, Kev?
What? Milenkovic. There you go.
Milenkovic.
Goal assist. Yeah.
Chelsea.
And the other stuff.
Yeah,
yours Milenkovic as well. Desmond.
Mine was Elanga. Do you know, I thought it was unplayable yesterday, and you know, I referred to him as Collymore earlier. Obviously, he's not that player, but to see somebody fighting the life out of defences in the same way, nobody will ever compete with that in Forest terms because that was incredible, Collymore. But to see somebody running at defences like that, you know, and just the way he took that first goal, I just thought,
yes,
you know, nobody saw it coming. No one saw the shot coming. We've seen him run so often and try and put a ball in, and again he was involved in all three goals. I know he weren't directly as an assist for the corner, but he took the corner, you know, put them on the back foot, and then he scored the two goals. And again, his numbers are really stacking up because you touched on it earlier in the season, and I was one of them. When you're looking around, possibly trying to find a weak link, Elanga was possibly the weak link earlier in the season. You know, nothing was coming off. You know, he wasn't assisting. He had no end product at times.
I think he had an interview. I think when he came back in the team, Des, he had an interview on the TV. And he was almost admitting he knew he could do better, and he knew he had to do better. And I thought, actually, that's, you know, to admit you're not performing as you should. I mean, that's a big thing to do on TV, isn't it, as well? And it's ironic you say that. We talk about Yatesy, who was similar because he's got kicked a few times and knocked back a few times. Neco Williams, who has had his thing, and these guys have all bounced back and they've become better players as a result of it as well. And you know,
totally agree with that. And that seemed to be a bit of a turning point for him. And since then, he's like I say, his numbers have just been incredible. You know, and And yesterday, I just thought, I really wanted him to get the hat trick. I think Morgan Gibbs-White did too. I think he was trying to set him up at every opportunity. But no, I thought he was man of the match, and I'd say probably a 7.5 in the way we were clinical, but we weren't fantastic, for 90 minutes.
I'll say my man of the match, Milenkovic, for me. Every time Ipswich to the long ball, I said to Glenn, and happy birthday to Glenn yesterday. Happy birthday to Glenn. He sat next to me and he was on the vlog. So people watched the vlog as well. Milenkovic for me. Every time I did a long ball, and I said to Glenn, no getting past him. And all he did, head the ball, passed it to Ernest, and he scored a goal, made the assist. That's what you need. Right. It's been a great show, people. We keep winning. We keep winning. Before I do it, I want to do a massive shout to because I know Chelsea is part of it as well. Forest ladies, I know there's a few Forest ladies watching. Shut up, Des. Before but Chelsea, I know Ellie as well. Ellie does she's part of it as well. What kind of stuff are you doing, Chelsea? Because you're part of it. So yeah, because you know what? I need to get Ellie on. We need to get a few Forest ladies on. Chelsea, I think you're gonna sort it out. Get some Forest ladies on, man.
Yes.
If you get any Forest ladies watching, come on the show, because it's good to talk about Forest, man. Look, I'm sick and tired of hearing just listen to Des, man, most of the time, man. So I know Kay's part of it as well. So Kay, we get Kay on as well. She likes talking about Forest more than Des, so she talks more sense than Des as well. So, but yeah, talk about what you're doing, Charles, man. Tell everyone.
Yeah, so we officially launched on the 8th of March. So yeah, we've got come and join as a member. Go on our Instagram. We've got a WhatsApp group for all members. We have a chat. We've got a YouTube podcast thing starting to happen and move about and stuff. So yeah, we're all getting established. So yeah, come and become a member.
Be a member, people, man. Like I said, I think it's Charles, Ellie as well. There's quite a lot of people on there as well. So people go and support Guy Boy Girls, man. I was speaking to Ellie the other day, and I'm proud of her what she's done from start. Like I said, the first day I met Ellie, Fulham away, when her dad at Mollo brought her a beer. She's only 14 years old. It's absolutely shocking behaviour. Sorry to throw you under the bus, Mollo, but you deserve it for being a clown yesterday. But shout out to Ellie, man. She's doing all the work and all that. And like I said, for over 400 members, it's amazing. But people, if you are
come and join.
a lady and you want to follow the Guy Boy Girls, go on any Instagram pages and everything. Like I said, Kay's on there as well. She's like I said, she's more better talking than Des. So yeah, but I threw Des on the bus the last 5 minutes, haven't I? So but yeah,
lots of stuff in the works. So
yeah, good. I'd like to hear. So we know what we are going to sort out. I'll speak to Ellie and but Des, you got anything to say before we do leave?
There's not much to say to what you said there, is there?
Well, I'm saying because you want to say something, Des. You just want to just.
No, of course I do my little thing. My little pre and post match thing. It's a bit of fun these days. I get hammered for it. Somebody told me to give up today, but that's fine. I retweeted that comment. It was one bad one in 8,000 views, so I can take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just my views. I do think I know a bit, even though Dore tries to discredit me at every given.
I don't. People in the chat, I discredit. I'm saying you got a beautiful wife that does does most of the stuff for you. That's all. I'm giving you credit. That's all. No wrong with that.
Right. So if you want to check them out, just follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, you follow Des on Twitter, man, and Instagram as well. Like I said, just. Next season, he's starting a YouTube channel with Des on tour. We'll be in the Champions League at the Bernabeu from the nosebleeds. So, people in the chat, if you're watching, if you see Des on the street while he's running and all that, tell Des to do a YouTube channel. Because I'm sick to death of telling him over and over again. So, next season you'll be seeing Des on YouTube doing his own channel, and so. Yeah,
if it gets your face all over the TV ads and raking it in, then I might consider it.
Like I said, people, I said I start the show. If you see me on what's it called, William Hill, my mug face is on there.
You don't even know where his face is these days. Look,
I don't know where my face is on there. It's everywhere. But people, it's been a great show. We're third place. we almost if we get Champions League spot, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. We're going to win the FA Cup as well. So yeah. Justin says, "Don't listen to them, Des. Do a great job. Yeah, don't listen to me, Des." Justin said, "No, that's everything on social media. Like, don't. Des does a great job sometimes." Right, people. It's been a great show. Before you do leave, please hit the like button if you can. Like I said, follow everyone on social medias if you can, people. I'm gonna do a quiz. I'm gonna try and get the lads on as well. Your face on coffee window. See, I thought we were friends, don't I? I'm not your friend. So, but yeah, people, if you can, I'm gonna do a quiz. Des, do you fancy doing a quiz? Why it's international break?
No, not really.
Well, that says it all then. Right, people. Right. Thank you very much, everyone. People, like I said, hit the like button, subscribe if you know, and watch out for the quiz without Des there because he's a loser. Peace and love, people. Oh, no, the bloody forest.